Good evening, everyone. This is the first school board meeting of the new year, and accordingly, there's no official chair right now. So I have the privilege of calling this meeting to order of the King George County School Board for January 13th, 2020. Annually, at this moment, then I turn it over to the board for nominations for chair. Before we do that, we do want to take a moment and recognize a very important person to our community and certainly to the school board and school division. But Ms. Tammy Inzeth is here. Tammy, I'm going to meet you at that podium there in just a second. Would you please, why don't you go ahead and meet me there now so that we can recognize you. You all know that Tammy has been an important member of our school board for the last 4 years. We appreciate you as a person and as a leader for our school board. Tammy did an exceptional job keeping our school board and keeping our school division on track, dedicated herself fully to her role as school board member, and she is, I'm happy to say, is returning to serve as a leader of our King George Education Foundation, a foundation that she conceptualized and brought to life on her very own, and it continues to thrive and support our school division. So Tammy, on behalf of, I know, the school board, and our community, we appreciate you and we thank you sincerely for your years of service to our school board. We have something for you. I'll read it from here so everyone can hear me, but this is presented to Tammy Inzeth in recognition and with sincere appreciation for your dedicated service and leadership as a member and chair of the King George County School Board from 2016 to 2019. Ms. Inzeth, thank you sincerely from our community.
Okay. So I just want to say a few words that this is definitely we always want our students to be lifelong learners, and being a part of this board, which is my way to continue that. And what I've learned here, I'm sure I'm going to use in my professional career as far as leadership. And, I've learned a lot about the school division, about how it operates. I had a lot of questions through the 4 years. But one thing I know for sure is that King George is a great school division. We have dedicated staff, excellent students, and I always tell, in my career, new employees how great King George is, that they should live here and they should send their school, children to school in King George. So I just want to thank you all for the opportunity to be a part, and I just hope that, I was able to contribute somewhat. And, this isn't the last of me, like you said. I'm looking forward to returning to my role as the Education Foundation. So again, thank you all. I feel, I learned a lot from you all, and I appreciate, you working with me, and I think we, developed a friendship beyond, just what our board role is. So again, thank you, and I'll miss you guys. I didn't realize I'd miss it until I'm standing up here and really, and I'm not up there, but I will miss it. So again, thank you.
So at this time, the board will conduct a brief organizational meeting. Once that meeting is complete, then at 6:15 or so, we'll begin the regular meeting. We're happy to have our friends from Potomac Elementary School who will help lead us in the pledge at that time. So at this time, I'll turn it over to the school board and open the floor for nominations for chair.
I nominate Gina Pansera for chair.
Second.
Any discussion? Any other nominations? Proper motion's been made. A second has been made. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations, Ms. Pansera. You are the chair.
So now we have the election of the vice chair. Do we have any recommendations?
Nominate Ms. Tolliver.
Nominees?
Second.
Okay, Ms. Tolliver has been nominated for vice chair. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Nope. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Ms. Tolliver is now vice chair. Okay, next we need to appointment of the VSBA delegate and alternate. Last year, the alternate, or the VSBA delegate was Tammy, I believe. Is that not correct?
It was me.
It was you? Okay. Kristen, and then Tammy was an alternate, I believe. So anybody like to take that position?
I'll do it again if, oh, you want to?
Want to try it? Okay.
Yes, that'd be fine.
Carrie, and then the alternate? Gail. Gail Cock is the alternate. Okay, now we have the appointment to the governor's schools. We have 2 governor's schools, Chesapeake.
I would like to be on one, and I've been serving the Commonwealth, but I have served the Chesapeake in the past, but I would like to do one. It doesn't matter which one.
Okay, is there any
I've done the Chesapeake, I've never done the Commonwealth. I'd like to do the Commonwealth.
Commonwealth?
I'll be glad to serve the Chesapeake then.
Okay, the Commonwealth is T.C. Collins. And the Chesapeake is Gail Hawk. All right, so we have the appointment of the committee assignments. We've got the Technology Advisory Committee. Who was, that was you last year, correct? I just would like to identify who was on the advisory committees for last year so that we can, Technology Advisory.
Carrie would like to.
Carrie, would you like to do that?
Yes.
CTE Advisory,
You.
that was me. I don't mind continuing it. I would like to have an alternate because sometimes their meetings don't coincide with my,
Be your alternate.
okay. We have the Gifted and Talented Advisory.
I did it last year. I'll be glad to give that up.
Do it again.
Give it up? I'd like to keep the other ones that I have, unless somebody else wants them.
I mean, I'll be glad to continue, but
Okay. Gail. Special Education Advisory,
That's me.
Kristen. Health Advisory.
That was me.
Would you like to continue?
Sure. Unless somebody else wants.
Anybody else?
TC?
Whatever y'all don't want, I'll take.
All right. Title I Advisory. Carrie, would you like to take that?
Sure.
Okay. And how about Code of Conduct, TC?
I had that one before, but
You've got 3. Let's give one to TC.
Don't you want TC to do it?
Yeah, I think we're going to nominate TC for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent choice.
Okay, we have the appointees to all the advisory committees. We'd like to adopt the annual meeting calendar. Is there anything up for discussion?
Madam Chair, I have, each year, I just bring in proposed dates that mirror the prior year. You know, so that's, I have that available if you all would like to use that as a guide or as a resource for your discussion.
I'd like to propose that we look at an adjusted meeting schedule that's only meets once a month, except in the months for budget time, January, February, March, April. That through the summer months and the winter months, we only meet one time a month. So I would like to look at that.
So currently, we do meet twice in May, twice in June.
Twice in July, twice in August.
So typically, August is a heavy month as, for employment.
We can always call a meeting for personnel or any other reason, anytime we need to.
Anybody have any input?
I'm not really comfortable coming down to one meeting a month. We certainly can opt out, for example, the July meeting, I think we've opted out of one meeting. August is a very busy month, and sometimes we could use another meeting there. And frankly, May can be a very busy month in terms of code of conduct and other things. As I said, I'm worried, I would worry about going to only one meeting per month.
I would be in favor in having only one meeting in June and July, and keep the schedule for the rest of the year.
That would be-
November, yes, November is one meeting. We have it November 9th or November 23rd. That seems,
So I would, so I know I'm new to this, but I would lean towards supporting what Gail said about not cutting back to once a month, just in principle. Even in the summer months, I know there's a lot going on leading up to the beginning of the school year, so I think there is business to be tended to. So that's my opinion.
Whatever the will of the board is fine with me.
We had many meetings this past fall that were not, there was not a lot of business to be tended to. So we had about 4 or 5 meetings in a row that could have easily been handled in one meeting.
So I think just because the meetings last year happened to be quick doesn't mean that this year there won't be business.
It's fine.
so Gail, you said you were in favor of possibly eliminating the July?
I'm okay with eliminating the July meeting and potentially the June 22nd, depending on personnel. I think we need to really respect our Human Resources Department and get a feel of where they are about this. So, I mean, maybe this is a discussion item, and we come back after checking with some of the personnel and seeing what their input is.
I'd be fine with that. Okay, so we will table the approval. Oh, I need a motion. Can I have a motion to table the schedule?
Before you approve a motion, could we then bring back, there were a couple of dates that while they mirror this year's, we wanted to avoid any conflicts. And there's some notes at the bottom there, the spring break week, just some other anecdotal notes to consider. And I'd also, February 10th, next month, our CTE, our joint meeting with CTE, that is that same day, that February 10th. So we wanted to try to schedule around that so that if board members wanted to attend that event, we didn't set up a conflict with that event too. But we can bring you back a draft set of proposed meeting dates, taking the guidance you've provided here, with, just to clarify, means eliminate one meeting in July, you said? Okay, any other?
Possibly one in June,
Well, again,
possibly, staff.
Okay,
Personnel.
I'll check.
We have a meeting for personnel at any time.
I'll check with personnel, but I'll look at one meeting June, one meeting July, with the understanding that I'll check with our HR folks. And then we'll bring those draft dates to you at the next meeting. You would need to set your next meeting date, though, because that's not officially been set. So you want to remain January 27th? Okay.
So let's have a motion to set the January 27th as our next meeting. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, it's been approved that our next meeting is going to be January 27th. Then do I have a motion to table the schedule until that time?
Move to table the discussion of scheduling meetings.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Okay, at this time, I'd like to, the appointment of the clerk and deputy clerk.
Madam Chairwoman, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Ms. Terry Rinko Clerk, Ms. Cheryl Bushrod Deputy Clerk, Ms. Sherry Williams Agent, Dr. Robert Benson Deputy Agent, and authorize the superintendent to be the designee of the school board.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just to clarify, Madam Chair, the designees for the number 12, we'd ask the board to authorize Ms. Christine Hill, Ms. Elizabeth Zierski as superintendent's designees.
Amend the motion to include Ms. Hill and Mr. Zierski as authorized designee for the superintendent.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Do we have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Done. Tammy was a great, there's one for you, Tammy.
Only one at a time.
I'm sorry, I had to do that for Tammy.